Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cringe Talk. I'm Matt.
And I'm David.
And tonight we're going to be talking about the newest Annabelle film, the newest film in the Conjuring series, Annabelle Creation.
Dun, dun, dun. That was long, just like the film.
Yeah. David, have you seen every other film in the Conjuring series?
Every other film? I actually didn't see... Oh, no, wait. No, because I keep mixing up the Insidious films with The Conjuring, because I know it's the same people involved with it, the same producers, but I keep mixing that up. But no.
Well, it's Conjuring 2, and then
the Annabelle. Yeah, exactly. And Annabelle and Annabelle Creation, so that makes 4, technically. That's a part of the universe.
Sure. Well, I know you've seen the one that we just saw.
That's true. And you didn't see the one that... Well, the one that precedes it.
No, Annabelle? I had no interest.
No, and you should... Well, I had an interest, and it was disappointing, obviously. And then where Annabelle first starts in the first Conjuring.
Yeah, her small role.
It's not a small
role.
Which
you seem to think is the...
I think it's a pretty big role.
the crux of the film.
It caused a climax for...
It caused someone to be distracted
Exactly.
for something else to happen.
Exactly.
For the A-plot to happen.
That's right. And they follow the same formula, which I do enjoy most of the time anyway. But the thing is, Annabelle apparently is a big deal, based on true events, apparently. Only on the events of the roommates, not everything else in terms of its Annabelle's existence is up for interpretation, which is what the creation is. And it's actually, the thing is, the storyline with this Annabelle film kind of mixes very well with the Insidious storylines. It's basically about demons trying to possess, they're basically using conduits to basically possess and to try to possess, eventually to possess other people in the real world. Yeah. So that's the idea. That's why I'm mixing it up so much, because I feel like going through the film, it made me think of Insidious so much.
Completely forget about Insidious.
Completely
erase it from your mind.
I am trying, but the thing is,
exercise that from your
they're
body.
From the same production, involved with the same people, and it's practically the same storyline. And obviously, I could say Insidious was based after these events if this is what they used already, because I feel like Annabelle the storyline was kind of recycled.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a classic possession, not possession story per se, but just a demon trying to get into somebody's body.
Pretty much, I know. We've seen so many interpretations of these that this is starting to be redundant a little bit.
But this masks itself in a killer doll movie.
It's its own identity with the Conjuring universe, anyway.
Yeah, but like the trailers. If you knew nothing about this universe and you just wanted to go watch a horror movie and you see a trailer for this, or you see a poster for it, it's misleading in a sense that you're going to assume this doll is going to do some damage. It's going to be like a Chucky.
Yeah, I know. Oh, well, if you didn't see it, yes, the way it's marketed. You know, I gotta say though, I do have to hand it to them in terms of the marketing, because obviously I feel most people. I think it's a popular opinion as it goes to say that the first Annabelle film, not The Conjuring, obviously, the first Annabelle, the first full Annabelle feature. I said Hannibal, but I went to say Annabelle.
Are you gonna say it flopped?
I wouldn't say it flopped. It was disappointing.
Yeah. I didn't see it, but I
as popular opinion goes, I know that I don't think financially it didn't flop, because it did earn itself another technically a prequel, but
it's a movie about an inanimate object.
Yeah, but how do you make 2 of them?
I don't know.
You make 2 of them though, but there's a thing. The thing is that that I felt like it was disappointing to me. Mm-hmm. Though you have to hand it to either, let's say, marketing. Well, basically all just to marketing that basically maybe give this franchise at least a second chance. Well, the franchise not being the entire Conjuring universe, but at least this part of the franchise.
I mean, what marketing did you see?
Well, the way the trailer was wound together. I mean, there was as we saw this film, we saw what was in the trailer. There was a lot more than what the trailer showed, even though you expected those what you saw in the trailer. Yeah. But the feature had a lot more to it than what the trailer showed. So I always feel like if that's always conjured together, that's always. I always feel like that's a good part of the marketing. That I have to give props to. Yeah. Now,
do you find it? I don't know what the word is, but do you find it a little desperate that they are still that they're still holding on to the based on a true story?
They have to be. But the funny thing is that
because it feels like every horror film nowadays has to say based on a true story. You don't even have to be connected to a true story in any sense to say that. You're not legally bound.
It's like that for most films too. I really feel like a film came from an idea from an event that happened in real life anyway. Yeah. So even if you give if you stretch the fantasy or whatever it is, you could say Harry Potter could be based on true events, just based on a group of people being neglected from the real world. I don't know. It's
Rowling had to sleep in a broom closet or under the stairs or something. And it's
Totally.
Based on a true story.
Based on a true story. You can easily say that. So, like, yeah, no, it is definitely overused. I mean, like, but I'm not talking about that part of the market. Of course, like, you have the catchphrase and the slogans. I feel like these are things that they have to put in. Yeah. But it turns out to draw you back into it, like the way the trailer was put together. I think I felt like full marks on that anyway.
All right, so good editing job for whoever cut together that trailer.
I love how you minimize the roles here. We'll go, good job on the editor, because
editor of the trailer.
Okay, well, I gotta say though, overall, it's definitely a better feature than its previous film. That's for sure.
Well, I can't vouch for that.
Well, I could, and I know you'd believe me, and I know you won't bother watching that film after how much I've spoken about it.
Well, I feel like I need to understand some of what this film was leading up to. And
you could read
spoilers,
it on Wikipedia
because we're just going to talk about this film.
Yeah,
well, everybody dies.
Well, no.
What happened in the 50s? They're all dead now. Maybe not the youngest.
Oh, dies. I think, man, in the cause of like this paranormal activity.
No, during the filming of this movie, all the actors died. There's other gimmicks too that have to have been for the publicity of this film. Like they had a priest come and bless the set of this movie, just like he also blessed the set of Conjuring 2.
That just takes one person to say that. It doesn't actually take someone a priest to actually do it.
No, but I'm sure they did. I mean,
you think they did?
Yeah. Well, they had somebody on set.
Wait, how about this? What if I compare that gimmick to what remember when Paranormal Activity first came out, and they said Spielberg edited the end, and then apparently after he watched it, he edited and he just he was very spooked out by it and just gave it in a hurry and just cowered in his corner apparently.
Well, that seems like poor marketing because I've never heard of that, but I love that movie.
But the thing is, that's part of the apparently like Spielberg's like they said Spielberg was so spooked out by the film after he edited the end.
Okay.
So like I would compare that gimmick to like the priest thing for this one.
Yeah, it's all a gimmick. Like all the interviews they do where they tell it's all scripted what you got to say. These are what the kids have to say. But do you ever hear such well-spoken children in an interview?
Oh God, not really.
No,
you shouldn't. Well, wait, where'd you see it in this one actually?
Well, just interviews.
Oh, just in regular interviews?
Done, on like Entertainment Tonight, stuff like that.
You think? Yeah, maybe. Well, I don't watch Entertainment Tonight. I can see what you're saying by it, but if you actually have like a genuine interview with certain interviewers,
I don't know if they still make Entertainment Tonight. Access Hollywood?
Of course they do. Of course they do.
Is that still around?
Oh, well, of course they do. You just change the channel, you'll see it.
Okay. I don't think
like
it's...
around 6 o'clock anyway.
I don't think it's a surprise. I mean, I've said it multiple times. I did not like this movie.
Oh, you did?
I did not like this movie. What did you think of it, David?
I mean, okay, so maybe my expectations were based on my expectations being a little higher because I like the way the trailer was put together. It kind of drew me back in. It was definitely
okay. Well, let me
go along with how I feel about it because it builds up to it. Okay,
all right.
But I'm not gonna say it again. But trailer, and then next coming up afterwards is the previous film wasn't very good. I had high expectations for that one, and that was a disappointment overall.
Okay,
so I'll definitely give 4 marks for it to be a better feature. But overall, did it meet my expectations as a good horror film? I would definitely not watch it again.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, you can't really.
I mean, there's horror films out there that we've watched probably over 30 times,
and this one's not going to
be one of them.
No, definitely not. Unless I'm like high or drunk or intoxicated.
You have a girl to watch it with. I'm sure then you would change your tune because
let's get the girl.
Say what
first.
You will about it. There's a lot of jump scares in it.
Yeah, they're not bad. I have to give it. Like they're hard to. It's hard to pull off jump scares. The problem with jump scares is that like it's a jump
fleeting.
Scare. Yeah, they're fleeting. You're not going to watch a film again for the jump scares.
No, because you know they're coming.
Exactly. That's what I think. I don't know how you love at least Paranormal Activity. The jump scares are still there, and you can still fall for it because the ambience is still there, and the tone of the film is still very strong.
Yeah.
So, Annabelle, though had a tone, though I would. Oh man, I mean, like I felt like. I kept looking at you when we were watching at the film. I
was very uncomfortable.
I wasn't trying to make you uncomfortable. Well, at least, you know what? At least it enhanced your experience watching this film. But if I made you uncomfortable in the film, I felt like it was so long. They bled every single sequence whenever someone had to walk down a corridor.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just, I felt like it was the same thing over and over again. Usually you would see this in a normal film, would be like, especially in the Conjuring universe.
Yeah.
You would have like, like the haunting, it would take up half an hour. Then you have like, you have those that would help out basically in the narrative afterwards. And then at the climax, you have everything going to hell, going all up in the air and everything. And then finally leads in a bang. But this was just like, the first part of the film felt very long.
Oh yeah.
Like extremely long, and then when they want to get from point A to point B, they use the same elements over and over again. So just being, someone being cornered by the demon, and then surviving, and just leaving its grasp.
Yeah.
They did that at least 4 times, and I felt that was too much for the film.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like this film. I mean, there's the 3 acts. The first, second, third. It felt like this film was just way too long in the second act. The first act was 10 minutes. The last act. 10 minutes,
but I can't even devise where the first and second act are actually. So
and this may be okay because this film was directed by David Sandberg.
Oh yeah,
he's
actually,
done Lights Out. He did Lights Out,
and he has an interesting story because the thing is that along with that, so he has Lights Out, and he had a couple short films before that. Yeah. So Lights Out, the short, and where he met his wife actually.
Okay.
And Panic in the Attic, also and starring his wife. And I didn't watch Lights Out. I didn't get a chance to. I didn't hear bad things about it.
No, I mean,
I didn't watch
Juan really seemed to enjoy the early cuts of the film. That's why he asked him to direct this.
There you go. Well, for this film, I'm not blaming anything in the direction of the film. Direction seemed to be adequate.
I'm blaming some direction of this film because so David Sandberg here, not you.
Thank you, David F. Sandberg.
He gets approached by James Wan, and then you get approached by him after your first movie.
You don't know if it's really him, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure you would know it's him.
We'll give you the benefit of the doubt here. Yeah.
He gets approached by an associate, at least
from Blumhouse.
Yeah, saying, "Hey, we your first feature film isn't even out yet, and we want you to direct this very lucrative film in a film in a very lucrative series of films." The Conjuring.
Yeah, with a convoluted storyline.
Yeah, but so he takes it on. What he does is he says he pulls a lot of inspiration from The Shining for a lot of the cinematic shots. He pulled a lot of
I didn't find at all
long takes, long winding.
That's not from The Shining, but whatever. Okay,
definitely is.
A lot of films do it besides The Shining.
But if he's saying he's taken it from The Shining, and we see that's.
I just feel like when a director
says still his inspiration, whether or not it made you think of it, it's still what he was going for,
but making you think that he succeeded in it, and it's like usually when a director says this is inspiration, and when someone says, "Oh yes, I agree, I did feel like you took that from there," I did not feel any of The Shining in this film whatsoever, and I watched it recently.
Okay, well, a lot of it was for the score too. He was going for the score with The Shining. I didn't see too much.
What do you mean by the score?
The score was unremarkable to me.
That's what I'm saying. It looks exactly like the rest of The Conjuring.
So I don't know what he was going for, because the score in The Shining was a lot more jarring and a lot more eerie. So I don't really know if he succeeded in that sense. But visually, I mean, there were some scenes where they're exploring the house for the first time, those kids, and it does seem to go on forever. They're opening doors. There's more places. Kind of like when you have Tommy on his little trike. I'm going around the. I'm saying it's a stretch, but another thing,
quite the stretch, but along with the sequences. But yeah,
these are things he has going for him. Like, these are positive things that I can get behind, at least that he tried. But what I don't appreciate is his second feature film, and he goes into it basically blind, where he does not storyboard most of this film because he wanted to be inspired by the essence. So he wanted to be inspired by the location, by the feel of the film.
Wow. Okay.
And so he doesn't storyboard because he just wants to let there be a natural flow. And I feel like that natural flow may have made it a problem because felt like it flowed for way too long.
That's a technique that's a hit or miss, and we could clearly say that well, I wouldn't call it a miss because I mean, direction-wise, it's the right attitude. I think it's the right approach for this film. And I feel like the acting isn't like the worst thing in the world. It's how do I say it? I feel like what he's told to be put on screen, I don't think we could really, for what I have a problem with in this film, isn't really the direction. It's more of the writing, if anything.
Yeah.
I would say the writing, when I see like certain moments where it's just like, you know what, remember when one of the characters, there's the two older ones, Carol and Lindsay, I forget who's who.
Sure.
The
ones talking about boys.
Yeah, Linda and it's Linda. No, not
Linda. Linda
Nancy
and
and Carol.
Nancy
and Carol. Those two. Sorry. Yeah, Nancy and Carol. Those two. And when one of them, I can't tell by the picture. Who cares? No. Anyway, when one of them's trapped in the stupid shed.
Yeah.
Her approach to basically avoiding being attacked from a